Montana, I'm Pelican fly. Diamonds on me cause I'm rapping a rock. I'ma go hard, I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills, I feel like I'm Lauren, you ready or not? I like who got businesses, I'm CEO of mine. 1980 Prezi Rolly, we been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, what a drums at.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm...
We are about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers. Dustin Hopkins about set to get us started, and off we go from SoFi Stadium. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. Bridgewater going to throw right away. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 44, Bridgewater. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, the turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it around pretty well. That interception early, they may rethink how they go about attacking.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. A lot of bodies there in the middle of the field, and that one intercepted.
Yeah, he's looking for his tight end running a drag route across the field, and normally you'd like him to work a little bit further outside. Here the throw's a little early, and it winds up in the hands of the defender.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync. And the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
The Charger drive about to get going. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. The 20. 5. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero, but we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to...
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jeff Wilson, a touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Back to throw here, Herbert. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Fielded just inside the 30. Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Play fake. Bridgewater. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now we'll give to Mostert running right. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
We need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case. Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Watch out for Hill on the return. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Bridgewater. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. And again, it's Bridgewater. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Play action now. Bridgewater. And he'll just get rid of it.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and now they're staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To the air again with Bridgewater. It's brought in by Wilson. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here's Mostert. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. One more time with Mostert. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Tight ends up front here, 3rd and goal. To throw, Bridgewater. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked and multiple players broke through the line to get him. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this 2nd half, and they trail as we get back underway. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. On 2nd and 12, Herbert. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball gets super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise. And it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Herbert on 3rd down now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having, because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Bridgewater. he's going to go down again. It's the corner blitz that got him. J.C. Jackson with a sack.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes up the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
3rd and long now after the sack. We'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Back to throw here. He is going to find Hill here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Give all that credit defensively to Khalil Mack. A great stop in the backfield. 2nd down. Here's Mostert again. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. That one, anything but a frozen rope to the outside, and it lines up an interception.
And these are the ones you hope for as a defender, because he's got clear sailing in front of him to return this one a long way. And he sets his guys up in good shape with a terrific return.
Jalen Phillips, the edge man, on the tackle.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Herbert. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips, the former 1st rounder, getting in there for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD? That's
a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll find Everett there, complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On second and goal. Herbert. And that's intercepted yet again. And that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
On third down, Bridgewater. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, this game has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Bridgewater's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
Bridgewater. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Bridgewater. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop it right around the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Bridgewater to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away as we just saw there.
And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on fourth. It would be 58 yards from here. Now Bridgewater. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. These are the spots this stage of the game where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. This to almost certainly win the football game. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
The Charger drive about to get going. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range. Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. Nick Needham picks it off. And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Justin Hopkins to kick off for the Chargers.
So it's the Dolphins who are going to get the football first here as we are back underway now in overtime. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted, So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Bridgewater. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. On the return, Carter. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. But we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Now Herbert with his first throw in OT. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Melvin Ingram. Both offenses sputtering a little bit here in overtime, Charles, but give credit to the defenses and certainly credit to them on that last play. That is a huge interception.
I will absolutely do that. They deserve the credit because they forced a punt on the opening drive of overtime. You know no one wants to give up the ball in OT. And now you have them back out there knowing that it only takes a field goal to win this game. Big-time defensive plays being made.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Part of the reason we're in overtime, all the interceptions he's thrown in this game, but that was a good throw right there.
He's really not daunted, is he, partner? I mean, it's been interception palooza for him, and he's still pushing it downfield, trying to make a play, and he was successful on that throw.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
And searching 40 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions. And he missed it. It's no good. And we will play on here in overtime.
overtime.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position to win the game, and I'll get it done. But this kick, not on target, and we'll keep going here.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get in overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line, men. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
Here's Herbert now on second down. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe.
Man, what a battle. I mean, what a game this has turned out to be, Charles, as we're going to have now a 5th drive here in overtime.
I don't know how they're doing it out there because the focus, the concentration, that has to stay as high as the intensity, and it's hard to do with how hard-hitting this game has been. But at this point, you got kicking in your background. Can you go down there and put one through the post so we can all go home?
I don't think they want me down there, but of course we've said it multiple times. That's all it takes right now, 3 to win it.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage you gain there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say, get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. All right, well, they didn't kick it on second down, now 3rd and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely have to kick it, because if you get a bad snap, you fall on it, you got a chance to kick it again on 4th down. Let's say it gets blocked and it's behind the line of scrimmage, you fall on it, you get another chance at it. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that opening.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And it'll be a good time in South Beach tonight. The Dolphins have won the game.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
I told my boys it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. I'm whipping in track hall with messed up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like a lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold, bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running streets, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it open. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just real majority. It's the first half, and we done dropped 30. We just up and scoring them, boys, man. I told my boys it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game.
Head in the game, head in the game. Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with the band. Crowd going wild, vibes in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I tell her my vision. You young and she get like me. I got your shorty, she with me. I gave her a jersey, I told her to join my team. It's best you go where it's safe. You know how I play. I get to a sack like Frank. You can teach money to fly. I turn it a hop. I catch it and go to the bank. It's crazy, I'm used to the lights. I'm shining so bright. It's visor to cover my face. You see me working and working. I'm getting it done. And soon they be feeding me grapes. I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida and Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Miami Dolphins. It's a rematch of one of the great NFL playoff games of all time. The Chargers and Dolphins underway from Miami.
DeAndre Carter now from his end zone.
Oh, good return up past the 30.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
In the course of a game, we focus on the offense and the defense, and we give lip service to the special teams. It's way bigger than that. The third phase of any football team, and special teams provided the spark to begin this game.
Throwing first play is Herbert.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on this. To 4th. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors.
And this returnable for Hill.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. To him, the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 11. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. On the right side, open is Gesicki. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
On the ready.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Tua.
That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Now Tua. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, their first sack of the game, and it doesn't come from a usual suspect, not somebody up front, but Charles, a defensive back getting in there.
And I can tell you from experience, he's beyond excited to make that play because you're exactly right.
Looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD.
Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes. Was their partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This crew, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now after the offsides penalty.
Up the middle they go with Mostert.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He's got the first down and more.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
A run with Mostert up the middle. But Jasir Taylor there to drag him down defensively.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Tua going to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done. They did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
They hand it off to Mostert. Asante Samuel able to make the play defensively.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Second down, here's Mostert again.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Tua on 4th down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 7. At 7 now as they kick it away.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
From the 50, here's Herbert. He's got it to Williams.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. On 4th down, Herbert. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Tua now on 1st down. And the pressure gets there, and Tua's going to be taken down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And going deep for Hill. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. DeAndre Carter back deep. Taken in at the 11. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 46-yard line.
A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
Give him another one right back to Allen. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Herbert on 1st down now. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Herbert throwing again. And he'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Herbert. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Allen. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3.
Herbert with a connection to Allen for a Charger 1st down.
And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers.
Austin Eckler
in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 14-7.
Chargers 14, Dolphins 7. Justin Hopkins to kick off for the Chargers.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Taken from about the 12.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break.
Dolphins 7.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Second down, here's Mostert again.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here we go.
On third down, here comes Mostert.
And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. And to the left side here, Wilson.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4. The Chargers 28-yard line.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get him a first down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack.
Tua looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Michael Davis.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's a quick throw caught by Allen. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. Herbert off of play action. On the move to his left.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Ready.
After the turnover, it's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Tua under pressure, and they got to him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Third and 2, Herbert.
They'll find Williams on the slant. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Look at the big fella go. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Eckler now between the tackles. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with his second touchdown of the night. And the Chargers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
Chargers 21, Dolphins 7. Dustin Hopkins to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
On the return, the Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's first and 10 from the 45. Here's Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Tua under pressure. They got him again. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Black Ultra. Long red.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Fourth down, fourth quarter. Here's Tua. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And this one is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They snap it to Herbert. That is caught. It's Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as the defense nowhere to be found there. A gain of 20 on fourth down.
Now, there was a time when I would have been upset at teams throwing the ball with a big lead late, but I've evolved a little bit. I've come around. Ultimately, they're looking for first downs, and if they think the air is the best place to do it, then so be it. In addition, you probably got a quarterback gets a nice bonus if he keeps completing passes. So they want to keep throwing the football? Fine by me.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. Out left, he's got it to Everett. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett from 13 yards out. And the Chargers have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Dolphins 7. Dustin Hopkins to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Waddle going to bring this out of the end zone now. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Okay, ready?
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Ready.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to pass. Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. One final try for Tagovailoa. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever they...
Cop a chain a game when the QB chain birth most of chains in the game. No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know a way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top 3, I'm not number 1, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. What I'm saying, the top 3, I'm not number 1. How could you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine. You cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back.
We are about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Dustin Hopkins about set to get us started, and off we go from SoFi Stadium. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone.
Jalen Waddle on the return. The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Let's go now.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that third down play. That brings up fourth down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 60 yards. And the Dolphins' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0.
Chargers, nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler. To about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
He's got room at the 30. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert has it knocked free. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the...
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Dolphins. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14. Chargers nothing.
Ready, set.
Second down. Here's Mostert again. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
On second down, Mostert. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on third down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown. Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
DeAndre Carter on the return. The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football, and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. Back to throw here, Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Now that's the kind of big play you like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And down to the 41.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Here's Herbert. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him.
even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 39, Tua.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception.
Picked off by Eric Rowe.
And the Dolphins are going to take over here up near the 40. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get them right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
Waddle will return this from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone, because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board, right?
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing crossed my mind is, why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one, and a Charger first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jerome Baker.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan.
Well, pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Backed up now from their own 4 as they come up 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack.
Tua, quick slant, Tyreek Hill with it.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on third down. Tua sets up to pass it. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your...
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Now, I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where there isn't enough time left for a comeback if their defense doesn't bail them out.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on first down.
Now Mostert. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Tua going to throw. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I
I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Caught on the slant. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Tua going to run the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Dolphins take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers will break it right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Again, Herbert. It's complete to Williams. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Herbert operating from the red zone. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the letter jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 55 rushing yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well.
because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Tua on 4th down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 24.
31. Chargers 7. Jason Sanders to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Here's Tua. Touchdown! Tua fighting his old Alabama teammate Jalen Waddle. And the Dolphins have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Sanders on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Chargers 7. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10. At their own 20.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Herbert now. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Here's Herbert. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Well, with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
After the turnover, it's Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Let's go now.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And going deep for Hill. And got his man complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers force the turnover. And they'll take over at the 10. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
They have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you...
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And the Chargers, first down.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they could try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now it's Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Herbert back to the air. Into the hands of Williams across the formation. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Chargers, first down. First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Herbert on first down now. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to get the football back at their own 17. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
Complete to Ryan Mostert. A gain of 5.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
At the 21-yard
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.